Secret Service closes White House cocaine investigation. The Biden administration is accused of cover-up over failure to catch suspect who left drugs in West Wing locker despite security cameras recording 24/7. Yeah, I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
I don't. I think they're blaming it on the Secret Service. I think they're being forced to do that. Without saying too much, I know that's what's going on.
I know you know.
I do know.
I know. So let's get into this. So the Secret Service is closing the investigation into the White House cocaine discovery because of a, quote, lack of evidence in a stunning move just 11 days after the drugs were abandoned in a West Wing locker. Furious Republicans have called the shuttering of the probe ridiculous and accused the Biden administration of a cover-up, with agents unable to find the suspect despite poring over surveillance footage for more than a week. GOP Representative Tim Burchett said agents, quote, just decided it's just some weekend visitor, and chalked up the entire investigation as, quote, another cover-up by the Biden White House. It's bogus, the Tennessee congressman added. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. His comments came after the Secret Service briefed members of Congress 11 days after the cocaine discovery forced evacuation and a hazmat situation at the White House. Here is GOP Representative Tim Burchett's video.
Hey everybody, Tim Burchett just left the most ridiculous meeting of all time with the Secret Service over the cocaine that was found in the White House. So it turns out they don't know who did it. The investigation's going to be over at the end of the week, and they're not going to find out who did it. And that's basically it. Another cover-up. You know, it's the most secure building in the entire world. You can't go in there. They have facial identification. You got to give your social security number. Nobody, even the press, nobody goes in there without them knowing. This is a bad look on the Secret Service and a horrible look on this White House. So more cover-ups continue.
I mean, he's pretty pissed. Not pissed enough. Yeah, not pissed enough. But apparently the list of suspects was narrowed down to 500 people. Democrats said drug testing all the potential culprits would violate their civil liberties and insisted the cocaine was found in the area used by guests, not members of the Biden family. Let's make sure we're specific on that. Or those with security clearances.
Why would they even say that?
Yeah, there's no drugs in here. Not my pants. This is not even our White House. You know what I'm saying?
I don't own a private jet.
Exactly. I don't own a private jet.
Oh, my wife owns it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not my cocaine. Might be my son's, but since July 2nd, the Secret Service has been poring over surveillance footage from cameras stationed all over the White House, but still hasn't managed to find a culprit. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden has avoided the latest White House scandal by escaping to Europe for meetings with foreign leaders. Trump-era CBP director and longtime FBI agent Mark Morgan told DailyMail.com last week that the case is straightforward and could be solved in a matter of 30 minutes. Now, let's put this together real quick. So first, when the news first broke, they said that it was found in the library, which is, open to public tours, right? But then after a few days, 48 hours later, they changed it. Oh, actually, it was found in the West Wing lobby, another place that is open to public tours. The West Wing lobby is the reception room for visitors of the president, vice president, and the White House staff. But it comes to find out that from this, classified brief they had, it was actually found in this third location, which is the West Wing executive entrance, which is used by vice president, senior staff officials, and visitors to the West Wing. A very secure location, extremely secure. Not just one that, any normal day American patriot can walk through. So a full statement was issued from the USSS, which is United States Secret Service. It was released today on the day's recording, following the briefing that gave a detailed rundown of what the agency did to investigate the matter. But it concluded by saying it could close the investigation without finding who brought the cocaine into the White House. It says, at this time, the Secret Service's investigation is closed due to a lack of physical evidence. CNN jumped on it, of course. This is also at the same time that FBI Director Wray is getting blasted for covering up the Biden administration. He's been going back and forth with Representative Gates, Jim Jordan. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Andy, what do you got on this?
Well, it's my personal belief that this was never meant to be solved, and that this is actually part of the demoralization of the image that we have for our country. The White House is a sacred place. The White House is an important place to our culture and our country. And it's representative of America at the purest form. And what I think is that this was actually put in there, discovered, and then created a massive buzz in order to demoralize people's image of this country. That's personally what I think is going on. I think they know exactly who did it. I think they know exactly why it was done. And I think they're blaming the Secret Service to make the Secret Service look incompetent, which is another way to demoralize what we think of our country. Okay. So a lot of this has to do with demoralization, in my opinion, and the ruining of the prestigious view and opinion that Americans may have of their government. That's my take. And I don't, okay. So they got 24-hour surveillance footage. This is no different than January 6th. Where's that shit? Oh, they released a little bit of it for the news, but not all of it. Where's the rest of it?
They released what they wanted you to see.
Yeah. And dude, this is absurd. People should be fucking pissed about it. And that's what I think. I'm so tired of seeing this country embarrassed and made to look like buffoons and intentionally destroyed in the eyes and the hearts of their own American citizens. I'm sick of this shit. I'm fucking sick of it. And, when I look at these people's faces, I start to get like legitimately physically angry. That's to the point where I'm at. So, I'm tired of these people walking around, making the rules for us and then not abiding by any of them. I'm tired of them doing totally insane shit and not being held accountable, like taking money from foreign governments and then making policy decisions around them. I'm tired of the weak politicians in Washington, D.C. that pretend like they're doing something when they aren't. Okay. Half of these people that yell at these people on these congressional hearings are in on it too. It's all an act. Okay. These people are up there screaming at, John Kerry and screaming at, whoever they have there, embarrassing them. And then they do nothing about it. It's all theater, dude. It's all fake. And these people go behind closed doors and they fucking go to dinner and they smoke cigars and they play golf.
Yeah. Fuck, I didn't go too hard on you, did I?
And then, yes, exactly like that.
Yeah.
And people have a hard time understanding that. That's exactly what goes on. Okay. These people fucking are friends behind the scenes. They all get along and they're all on the take. They're all getting paid. And that's the game. That's the game attorneys play. That's the game politicians play. And it's all theater. It's all fake. It's all bullshit. And what's happening here is the intentional demoralization and the reduction of the prestige that we all hold the White House and the United States of America to be. It's the ruining of the image in our hearts and minds of something that we once loved and once believed in.
Oh, that's real shit, man. Guys, let's chime in on this conversation. Hashtag not my pants in the comments. Let's get it.
These people who have done this stuff, they deserve the harshest punishment possible.
Let me ask you, if you, let's say
I'm not talking about the cocaine.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the ruining of this fucking country.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because dude, here's the thing, dude. It's going to take many years to regain the image of this country and what it's supposed to be. Like, that's not going to happen overnight. We can get back control, get everybody held accountable.
It would happen a lot quicker if these people were held accountable publicly.
Yeah. That's real shit. But even talking about the pride of the nation.
At this point, DJ, this is on the shoulders of these people that are up there in Washington who are elected by us, Republican or Democrat, to represent us and represent this country. There's a lot of fucking cowardice happening in Washington, D.C. right now. Okay? Like, we're going to have to fucking sacrifice some stuff to get our country back. And allowing, these people to get away with their shit over and over and over and over again and not saying anything, you're complicit at this point.
Yeah. Because
they're going to destroy our country completely if people don't get some fucking balls and speak the fuck up and tell the truth. And unfortunately, we're not there yet. We're not there. We got a few people that are doing it,
Yeah.
but we don't have enough doing it. I'm talking about the people up there. I'm talking about the real American patriots that happen to luckily inhabit the Washington, D.C. ecosystem. And there's not very many. But my advice would be to figure out who the fuck they are and to take some action on getting the word out about what's actually going on. And, stop just doing what the fuck you're told, because compliance is what's created this whole mess.
Yeah.
Right. The whole reason we're here in this point in time is because of the masks. It can be all traced back to the masks. Had people said no to the masks, then none of the other shit would have been able to happen.
Yeah, because they got a temperature check of our
That's
obedience.
Right. That's correct. And they stopped it. And I remember a couple guys saying that when it happened. Whatever happened to them.
Yeah.
They were going to die.
They're dead.
Yeah. Oh, they are?
They don't even exist no more.
Oh.
Let me ask you this. So for the person listening to this show right now, what is their role in this call for accountability? Like, what are the things that people listening to the show right now can be doing?
I think they need to be calling and emailing and harassing their local elected representatives for accountability. You need to be, calling their phones, leaving messages, sending emails. Everybody needs to be pushing, because what's happening is these people can't accurately see the temperature of us from there. All right. So they live in an echo chamber up there, bro. Everybody's friends. It's a whole culture. They all play golf together. Like I said, they all go to dinner together. They all exist together. And there's an echo chamber up there that is miles, hundreds of miles out of touch of what people actually want. And what people want is they want accountability. They want to know that they can trust the justice system to actually hold people accountable. Dude, when there's a 2-tier justice system, that's part of the demoralization as well. When people start to understand, like, these people can get away with things, but you can't, they accept it. And what they're actually accepting is their role as peasant class by doing that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so when you accept that Biden and Hillary Clinton and this class of people, Barack Obama, and all these people can do whatever the fuck they want and get away with it, when you accept that, what you're actually accepting is your role as a peasant and that they are your superior. And so accountability must be had if we're actually going to keep this nation pure, and we're going to keep it to the point and to the premise of what it was supposed to be, where all men are created equal and treated equally. And people are going to have to see that. That's reality. It's going to have to be accountability. It's going to have to be public. It's going to have to be had, or people will never trust this country ever again or never believe it in again.
Yeah. And
the reason these people continue to get more and more and more aggressive is because they understand that that's what waits for them if they don't win. They understand this is life or death for them. So that's why they continue to push.
Yeah.
So
that's why they're going to push harder.
Yeah. And we said this years ago. We said one of two things is going to happen. They're going to pull back or they're going to push harder. And they've chosen to push harder. And, now you have the media attacking a film about trafficking children. Why would the media attack a film about trafficking children? Why would they do that?
Oh, it gets worse than that.
Why would they celebrate grown men dressing up as women and shaking their private parts in
Flying
little
squirrels.
kids' faces?
Oh.
Why are they creating names for pedophilia and like trying to like create there's nobody in this country that can deny that pedophilia is now being pushed to be accepted, not only here in the United States, but around the world. All right. We have the elected officials in Spain that we covered a number of months back screaming in debate that young people, meaning children, are allowed to have the right to choose who they want to have sex with. This woman was screaming at the top of her lungs in Spanish. We played the clip on the show, talking about how children can consent. Okay. Why? I just want you to really think about it. Why would this be? Why would they try to normalize this? Why would they attack anybody who's talking about human trafficking And let's also mention the fact that human trafficking in reality actually looks a lot different than what that movie shows. You guys want to think that it's like, a bunch of guys doing a raid on some, jungle place where they're keeping kids as slaves. But what you don't understand is that America, the United States, is the biggest hub of human trafficking on the planet. And so you walk down the street every day and you go to the mall and you go around to places and you see victims of this everywhere you go. You just don't realize it because it's hidden in plain sight. And so if it's hidden in plain sight, and we have this situation with Jeffrey Epstein, no accountability, Ghislaine Maxwell, no accountability. Everybody knows what was happening on that island. And then we have, all of these little breadcrumbs sort of trailing towards, them making pedophilia seem like it's no big deal. Why would they be doing that? My opinion is the reason they're doing that is because they understand that it's going to come out in the wash. And by the time it comes out in the wash, they hope to have normalized it so that they are not held accountable by it.
Because we're not calling for accountability now.
That's right. So what can people do? People can start fucking using their voice. They can stand up. They can do what we talk about every single show, which is become a personally excellent human being, raise your standards. That's the cultural answer. Raising your standards, living at a higher standard, becoming fit, becoming intelligent, becoming financially able, unplugging from their matrix. That's part of the solution. That's a cultural solution. But there actually is a real solution on top of that must be had, and that includes accountability, because without accountability, how can we ever trust the institutions of this country again? How? I'll never trust them. Without accountability to the media for the lies that they told and the millions of people that they ruin their lives, whether it be people dying on a ventilator or being denied ivermectin, which is now a proven recommended COVID therapy, which they literally deplatform people for. Without accountability for this and what they did, how can we ever trust any of these people again? You can't. So people need to be calling for accountability, and they need to be pushing it on their elected officials from their state as hard as they possibly can all the time. And then they need to be using their voices all the time. You cannot be afraid of this. When you're afraid of, look at what's happening with the sound of freedom.
I got that next.
Hold on. Are people afraid of it? No, because now they see that everybody else is with it too. Everybody else has been with it the entire time, guys. All these years
just happened. Yeah.
All these years that you think the tide has changed. The tide has not changed. The curtain has been lifted. Okay. The bot traffic, the censorship, the favorable algorithms, the Hollywood Fortune 100 Politico matrix has been discovered. Everybody sees what's going on. So it was always that way. It wasn't that the tide changed. They were always promoting these things to make them seem like they were the popular things. They had everybody in Hollywood promoting this crazy shit. How did they get everybody in Hollywood to promote this crazy shit? Do you think everybody in Hollywood just happens to be one of these people? No, they own these people. These people are chosen for their compliance. They go along, they get the rewards, they become rich and famous, but they just got to do this little things, right? That's what we're dealing with.
Yep.
Dude, this country belongs to the fucking people. This country does not belong to these people. Does not belong to a small group of ultra rich elite people that are willing to do anything, say anything to fucking take from us, dude. How much more are they going to take from us?
How much more you got?
I'm just saying, how much more are we going to let them take?
Yeah.
They take your peace. They take your health. They take your finances.
Time.
They take your time. What else are we going to let them take? And if you don't fix the problem, your children are going to have to deal with this problem. So you should really fucking do a gut check about what you stand for and what you believe to be right. Oh, I can't talk about it because, the people at my job, man, fuck the people at your job. You have a chance to make a difference. Your words and actions right now at this point in history have a chance to change fucking American history for real. And all you got to do is be a little bit courageous. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's real shit, man.